Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we're looking at the scenario David versus Goliath. It's quite a straightforward, you could say, scenario that's very reminiscent from the old levels in like Command & Conquer that were like the Tanya levels.
Shake it, baby!
We don't have any factories here, we don't have any commander, all we have is these basic units and we have to get to the other side of the map and kill the enemy commander. Now, we've got 3 cloaked bots here, 2 res bots, a missile launcher, the Tsar, and the Tech 2 tank as well. And we also have a stealth and radar vehicle as well. Now, the fact that we cannot build any more units is going to be very important for us to keep these units alive. So we use the Spectres here, the stealth bots, and make sure you have them cloaked before you move them to push forward and start seeing what this rocket thing is shooting at. Now, the Tsar itself has quite decent-ish range, so if we can outrange the defenses that are there, then we can just shoot them with the Tsar as well and kind of speed things up a bit. Now, I tend to suggest keeping one of the stealth guys back a bit, just as a safety measure, because if the other ones get killed ahead of time, then you're a bit screwed. You see the Tsar's range, so it's quite big. The Tsar has quite a splash as well, so you can use it to take care of groups of Tech 1 units, which we will probably end up doing here. Now, this Spectre, you can see the blue ring around it. That is the EMP ring. If we do use the self-destruct function of it, then that is what we will, that range will be what's EMP'd. Now we see a substantial group of Tech 1 units coming around here. It's probably a bit much for the Tech 2 tank to deal with on its own. They don't seem to be engaging, so that's fine. We're going to manual fire here with the Tsar, so we can aim ahead of them a little bit. There we go, saw them there. Don't know if that's actually going to get any. No. They managed to get past. Now, tactics for this game, well, for this level. The Tsar, if it shoots any Tech 1, will completely destroy it. Like, beyond the ability to reclaim it. So ideally, you want to use the normal tank to kill the Tech 1 units. That way you can resurrect them and have a bit of a backup force, I guess, to support your units. Be careful here as that group of stuff is moving towards our stealth bot. Aiming ahead here, and boom, all gone. Okay. So now we're just going to move up to this ridge line. Don't know if the missile truck is going to shoot that, so we just shoot it anyway. And it wasn't. Moving these stealth trucks, stealth units down the hill a bit. Spectres. And there's some Tech 2 pop-up defenses there, which may be quite useful for us. Bear in mind that our energy that is supplying our radar and our cloaked bots is in that little base that we were at behind. So we don't want just a swarm of Tech 1 going and killing all that. So we'll resurrect these. You don't have to, bear in mind. But I would suggest that if you can, it will just help you make sure you're securing that side a bit. And there we go. That's that defense gone. There's also a radar there that we're probably going to end up reclaiming. Not reclaiming, reviving. Now, you would normally like reclaim stuff, but in this level, there's not really a point. For the fact that, I mean, you have no use of your income, so making sure there's nothing down here, which there isn't. We're just gonna see that defense there is kind of dealing with some of this Tech 1 stuff for us now, which is good. pop-up turret's very good dealing with Tech 1. Doesn't quite have as big a swarm effect as you would hope, though. So there's quite a lot coming up here. So we use the SAR splash there, as you see, to do quite a good job there. And there we go. So we're just going to queue up some Resurrects and get moving. They move these units down the hill. And you have these guys backing up behind it. Now we can see there's quite a lot of red dots up on that hill there. We don't know what that is, but with this wave coming in here, we just want to make sure that we deal with all this first. Now, one thing you've noticed is I've set the SAR to hold fire. If that happens to friendly fire on, like, it shoots a scout that's coming through and hits all of our radars and stuff like that, we're screwed. You'll need to restart. There is no way you'll be able to do that. And here we see the missile firing away. Now, there is an argument to putting the missile one also on hold fire. Again, for the friendly fire aspect of stuff here. I'm going to send one of these cloaky boys up the hill if you can. The laser down. Now, because we've got vehicles, there is no way they're going to be able to get up that hill. But see what's up there. See if there's a sneakier way. It's just laser towers mostly, so that's fine. Gonna move forward with our units again. Resbots are still going away. Now, see, there's a couple of wrecks there. We'll be able to resurrect. That's good. Substantial amount of wind there. Now, the AI still obviously need energy to fire their turrets and stuff, so not a bad idea to go for that. Now we see a slight issue here that little scout got through, which is why resurrecting some of this stuff might be useful. There, we're going to go for a repair. Now, I'm being a bit slow at this section. This is quite a dangerous spot to be in right now, because we can get pushed in from the front and the back. So, really need to pick up the pace a little bit here. So I see dots there. I don't know what it is. Again, a scout manages to get past, but I'm not going to be using the SAR to deal with that. And you see there that the missile truck's rocket almost hit one of our units, so definitely need to be careful. Oh, and we just lost one of our Spectres as a massive swarm of units comes down the hill behind us. They haven't actually come down the hill yet, though. I need to deal with this, what's in front of us first. Moving the radar and radar jammer vehicles further forward. There's a geo on that hill that I did not notice at all. And we now need to move our units back as quick as we can, or more like forward as quick as we can, as we see a massive group of units behind us. Huge group. We're going to move our Tiger to cover our behind, and we do have a single blitz. Not that that's really going to do much, but there's also a pawn there. feel like we may need the SAR there. We're going to manual fire the rocket truck, moving all these other groups forward. Really need to get that SAR back there now, otherwise this Tiger's going to be absolutely destroyed. And SAR does a good job. This Tiger's almost dead. Now, to quickly stop something manually firing, so we're using A to attack ground as such, and then you can press S to stop whatever they're doing. So that's what I was doing there on the SAR to stop it. Just all friendly firing lots. And you see there again, the missile truck almost killed our radars then. Need to be careful. So at this point, I'm like, right, we just need to move forward. Let's just get up into this corner so that, I mean, they're not going to be to the south of us, right? Because there's nothing to the south of us. So at least that way we're not having to cover the front and the back of us. Going to start using one of our vectors here. Moving our Tiger into a more defensive position. We're going to see what these things are on the hill. I just saw one laser tower get destroyed, so it might just be laser towers. And if so, the SAR can also shoot them as well to speed this up a little bit. Oh, that is a massive group of enemies potentially coming behind from us. I'll quickly turn the SAR around, get the Tiger into position. Be super careful here, lining these guys up. Moving the Tiger back a bit. Manual firing on the rockets. Using a very nice shot there from the SAR, aiming ahead of where we expect them to be. And that was a decent chunk of them dead. We go back to firing normally with the missile launcher. Using the Tiger to deal with this stuff in the alleyway down here. Manual firing again, killing the LLTs. 2 for 1 there. Now, resbots, really important. We don't want to be losing them. Because if we do lose the Tiger or something like that, as long as it isn't completely destroyed, we can resurrect it. Same with the SAR. But if we lose the resbots, then whatever health we've got that's it for the rest of the level. So we need to be careful. Now we're seeing something repair something. The heavy laser tower hitting us there. Heavy laser tower shouldn't really be a problem, but too many of them can do damage relatively quickly. And it's up a hill, so we can't really get a good shot at it. Although when it's that low, it's just one hit away, so we can go in and take that a bit of damage. The rocket's going to get that one, but there is another heavy laser tower there as well. Again, this is kind of a slow map. As long as you're being careful where you're manually firing and don't kill your own units, then you should be okay. Tiger's still sat there in a defensive position. We're using the blitzes to kind of protect the resbots and the radar. Queuing up the the rocket launcher here, sorry, to shoot the heavy laser towers. The SAR itself can deal with the normal LLTs. Still somewhat worried about the massive swarm of units we can see above us here, but as it's not coming straight for us right now, then we're okay. Now, having the radar jammer means that unless the units have direct line of sight on us, they're not going to know we're there, which they obviously now get direct line of sight and decide to come after us. Don't want to lose those blitzes unnecessarily. Tiger's almost walking into where we were going to fire. Also don't want you to lose that scout. Well, say scout, stealth. And we choose to set our tiger there on hold position. He was going outside of our radar jammer range, which is obviously enabling them to see us. So by having him set up inside the radar jammer range, then we should be okay. Dealing with some of that leftover stuff there with the manual fire, getting a bit of heal off on the go. See the pop-up defenses at the top that we resurrected doing their job, thinning out the herd for us a little bit. Now we do only have 2 stealth bots left, so we need to be somewhat careful with them. And there is a factory there. So we will move this tiger up. It's a bit risky here. May move the blitzers as well. I think we'll keep the tiger back. Now, I'm not entirely sure if we kill the factory with just our blitzes and the wreck survives, if we'll be able to resurrect it and be able to build units from it. Like, I'm not sure about that. So it'll be interesting. This is why we've got our blitzers doing their thing. Don't want to lose the blitzers to the damage there, so put the heal on the go. But of course, the rocket just absolutely destroys it instead, so never mind that idea. Now we're getting up the hill here, getting us in a bit of a better position. Just going to leave those blitzes to kind of clear up the stuff at the bottom there. Use the scout guy to stealth guy to see what you can see. Gonna set the rockets there to hold fire because he's just gone and killed one of our own blitzes. As a massive group of enemies come up, grab this tiger, move it into position here to stop this. Quite a few getting around. Although they fall back, so that is good. Now a swarm would do quite a bit of damage to us, so we do need to be careful. We can't just run right at them. I know we have Tech 2 and they're only at Tech 1, but there's at least like, man, 40, 50 things there. I mean, with a splash from the side, it'll die pretty quick, but only if we aim it correct, like that. Massive amounts of kills. We just keep the heals going. He's not shooting down that hill for some reason. Fine, we'll just let him go. Moving up our units a little bit. We're getting close now. Seeing a bunch more stuff on the radar. Move this guy up, see what's in front of us. Oh, smoke going off in the background there. So something's there somewhere. There's a wall. Oh. And we just lost one of our cloaky boys. There's pop-up defenses there. Quick, get out, get out, get out. Oof. That was close. Now, you're asking how do they see him? So, just because he's cloaked doesn't mean he's not visible on radar. Now, I'll make a separate video about that, but the long and short of it is, if you're cloaked, you're just not physically visible, but if you're radar jammed, then you're not visible from radar, but you're still physically visible. Now, also, I don't think they were necessarily shooting at the cloaked guy. I think they were actually shooting at the tiger, and the tiger just happened to be directly behind the Spectre. Sorry about that. And so what we're doing now is we're just using this rocket truck, the negotiator here, to fire at the fences. Now that the reclaim thing was construction turret rather was repairing the pop-up defense and causing us some issues there. So we just killed that first, and now we're going after the pop-up defense. And the reason why we can't see the pop-up defense is because it actually has cloak as well. Use our res bots here to repair, which we drastically need, and then drawing a line of mines using mouse 4 to increase the spacings between them. And this should help us here defend against this swarm of stuff that's still around. Oh, and as I say that, they literally are coming at us with a swarm of stuff. And the mines there already helped us there to kill a few. Need to be careful that our units just don't chase them down and get killed. And there we go, that's done. We need to get this other thing repaired, Tiger. Go back to building more of a minefield here. Just queue up some orders for it as well. Mines actually build quite quickly, the light ones. Now, you've probably already played the minefield level, so you know how they work. And how annoying it is to drag things into it. But if they come to you, then you don't need to worry about it. Okay, so we can see the smoke coming off that pop-up defense because we know it's there. So we know it's still alive, and there we go. We can see the wreckage of it, so we know it's gone now. So now we can start moving up a little bit. The manually go after the radar first, then the factory. Main reason for that being is, well, if they know where they are, they might send their swarms at us. So at least if we take out the radar, they only have true vision then. What I mean by true vision is like actual eye vision, should we say. Just using this guy here to see if there's any other holes in the wall, which there are not. Okay, and with the factory gone, that should mean that no more units are being produced. We just have to deal with what's left. Quickly selecting the Tsar here to get that massive group of units. Now, I thought they were going to keep moving. They didn't, but I still got them anyway. So, yeah, a big chunk of the wins there as well. Now, being a little bit more careful here. We only have one spectre left. So you definitely need to be careful. We got some air defense. There's a cloak jammer there, see? We'll use this. Fire the missile at it from range. Manual fire it because we've seen it, so we know it's there. There we go. And then we can now move this guy, the Spectre, back a bit whilst we just move up. Just kill this front line a little bit. Now the negotiator here, the rocket launcher, has a huge range. So we don't need to necessarily worry about that being in range too much. I'm very cautious here that my units are going to shoot something where the cloak spectre is going. So being careful there a bit. We see a bunch of mines dealing with that force at the back. Still a bunch left, so moving the Tsar back to cover. But it seems to be okay. We're going to build some more mines as well, just to hope that we don't have to deal with it. And here we hear more mines going off. And even more. Those mines have dealt with that issue for us now, which means we can just concentrate on what's in front of us. And we can see the enemy commander there. Can't see any defenses. Now, there are 2 red dots there, if you notice. The which could mean something stealth there, potentially. I'll be a bit careful about it. Don't want to move the guy too far. In theory, he should be able to start firing at the commander. That's all we need to do to finish the levels, kill the commander, so... Pulling the stealth guy back again. Don't want to lose him. For some reason, the Tiger's prioritizing the air defense over the units. Now, the SAR's very tanky, so we're going to move him forward a bit. And as we do that, we notice another 2 pop-up defenses. Quickly pull everything back. We did lose a resbot there. And now, because we just briefly saw that turret there, we can see the range of it. We use the missile truck here to take them out again. Now, one thing you could do, if you really wanted to, which I'm not because of that massive group of units there, is we could use our Spectre. It has a self-destruct mechanic where it EMPs, like I was mentioning earlier on. That would EMP those defenses, and then I'd be able to push forward and kill the turrets. Now, there's another reason why I'm not doing that. I don't know necessarily if we've got the damage to kill them in the time that the EMP lasts for. I feel like it's probably better just to get the vision. Which we now know one's dead. We just aim it at ground here. Thinking that that's where that is. Get some mines on the side here as we keep seeing them come up and down that right side. And there's still a dot wobbling around, so there's still something there. Which we can just chuck this pawn that we've... There we go, and now we can physically see where it is. And it's got not much health left. This mine's probably not really needed much anymore, but I'll do it for the sake of it. Now we're using a pawn again, just to confirm there are no other defenses. Which... we seem good to go. We're going to move the SAR up here. Also get ready to deal with that. Massive group of pawns there, which we managed to deal with. And now we just got to kill the commander. So, as you can see, this is a fairly straightforward mission. It just takes a bit of planning and practice, I'd say. If you do lose some key units, I'm afraid it is probably a restart for you. Just purely for the fact that, you know, you have no way of building more. If you lose both your resbots early on, any damage that you take is just going to be compounded. But yeah, that's it. So, let's thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.